Wow, we had a full week. That one flew right by.
I'm tired.
My goodness, we packed a lot in.
My body hurts.
I know you're all flushed.
Yeah, that too. It's man, it was something, guys. We had so many things that happened.
We did, but all good stuff.
Yeah, good, hard.
Great.
Well, good,
well,
sort of good.
Sure.
Yeah, we made great progress in the bathroom, and we picked up a little car, which is very exciting, and it's, I think, a good strategy for us. So we'll take you on our journey and enjoy some of the things.
Well, we inherited this statue in the once was rose garden, and she's lovely, but she does have a lot of algae and I don't know what, honestly, a bunch of stuff stuck on her. So I found some cleaning stuff for stone online and figured let's give it a go and see if we can bring her back to her white glory. Well, the stuff is working. It's still dripping. I have to rinse it off yet. That's the water that we don't have a hose connected right now, but it's coming. She had a lot of stuff growing on her, so I'm still wiping a bunch of that off, and then some of the chemicals are getting it off, well, whatever this cleaning stuff is. And she is starting to have a face again. Looks like she's washing her face. She's dripping, but she will be beautiful once again. All right, she's looking much better. I'm just waiting for that last little bit of rusty stuff to kind of activate down below so I can brush the rest of that off. It just kind of needs to sit a little bit longer, but it's coming. And she is so much whiter. She's not perfect, but there will always be a patina. And yeah, she's lovely. And if you look up here, her face is much cleaner. And we can see what her hairstyle was now with all the braids. It's lovely.
Beautifully warm day, and all my super dirty sweats are in the laundry, so that means shorts. But it's super warm. It's probably like 10 outside or 12. With the sun, it feels so much better. Okay, I got my diamond tip bill, and we're gonna cut a hole for the shower to come through. I've got a garden hose shooting water on it because, of course, we're doing tile. I'll need two hands, but you get the idea. Okay, that literally took 25 seconds. I can't believe how well that went. That went really well. It's quite thin and it's not very strong, so that's going to be good for cutting. Let's try the bigger one. Okay, with the hole successfully cut, now it's time to cut the trim the back line. I've tried that little crayon, but here's the problem. When it gets wet, it just goes like that. So I think I might try the laser level and throw a line that hopefully will stay. Working good. I got a nice line, perfectly straight. Laser's giving me enough of a line to see. And again, just a little bit of garden water on there to help. It's criminal. It feels criminal to take a beautiful big piece like that and turn it into a smaller piece like that. But this is what the end of the shower looks like. Man, it went well. Relatively straight. This side's going to be hidden by the other one, which is a full length piece. So you won't see that. And this is at the bottom, so we'll put caulk over that. So you're going to see two perfect lines. It's kind of funny. I was carrying the scrap pieces over, and Leslie's like, you're bleeding. Not sure exactly how. I think maybe little pieces of stone shot up and hit my face up in the forehead there. It's mostly gone now. I got it. But that was kind of funny. A big line of blood I didn't see.
Our lovely garden lady, unfortunately scantily clothed, but is looking much whiter today. She had a nice little bath in the rain last night also, and I'm pleased. There's still some stuff here and there, but overall, you know, it looks really good, and I'm quite pleased at the product, which I don't no idea even what it was called, but it was just some kind of outdoor cleaning stuff. But she looks great, and you know, we'll keep working at it over time, but overall she is not all dirty and full of algae. Now that urn out there And over to this side, there's the lovely house. The urn over there, I'll try to zoom in, is looking a little shabby now. So we might have to do a little something on those guys too, I think.
Well, February 17th, and we have just an absolutely beautiful day. Leslie and I having tea. How do you feel about the weather, Les?
Oh, finally.
Isn't it wonderful?
Finally sit here and be warm, yeah.
It is absolutely wonderful. The phone says that it's only plus 10, but I'm sitting here in my shorts.
Well, I'm not, but...
You've got a jacket on, maybe
the
a shawl.
is a game changer.
It is such a game changer here.
Is. The direct sun this time of year is just so intense when you get it.
We did not see brown grass this year at all. No, it stayed
true.
Beautifully green the whole time. It's not growing right now, but it's beautifully. And listen to the birds.
I know they're happy.
There's all kinds again. You can hear the hoo 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 way over on this side, and then on this side. It's not as loud as sometimes, but it's definitely getting better. Yeah, great news.
Well, we have potential for a beautiful week, and there's two of us here pretty happy about it. Every time I look out of here in the winter, you can see the lines of the original paths, which I love very much. And there's part of me that is so in the mood to do that circle right there. You see the circle? I'll show you the old picture, and just get it started. Rob's kind of rolling his eyes and going, do we have to? Because he thinks it's going to be more maintenance, which I suppose there is some of that. But it just seems to beckon and want to be the rose garden again. Anyways, we'll see.
It's a beautiful day. We got sun again. Thank you, Lord. And we've got our tiles, our big tiles are cut. Now it's time to bring some grout in and start installing them. I'm getting smarter in my old age, I'd like to think. These bags are an absolute dog to lift. They're whatever, 55 pounds or something, a little more than that, 60 pounds, I don't know. And they spill. They leak powder throughout the whole house when you carry them in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take them in one at a time. I'm gonna take them in pails. It's so much easier to carry, they don't spill. I'm gonna unload it here and then bring it in. Okay, first piece in, fits great. It's a very thin little piece, isn't it? Pretty much exactly right. Now it goes up a little higher on that corner than we'd like. We think it'll hide once you put the wall in front of it, and we'll get it all flat, but it's a good start. Going well. We've got it all plumbed. All the connections are really solid, and the wire, the conduits in there solid. I even managed to get a couple of screws into the brick. I think I went through to the other side, but you can't see it because there's fabric. This is nice and solid. I was worried about that. We're gonna fill all this up with cement too, or tile adhesive. This is sometimes you just gotta do something. You know, I had to push this guy back to make sure it was flat. And so honestly, I just put a screw in the brick and a little, just to wedge it back there. So sometimes you gotta do that kind of stuff, but I think it's gonna work. Well, we're putting holes in. We're putting holes in for the faucets, and it is more than a little stressful. I've measured like 4 times because you just don't want to get this wrong. Doesn't look so big when it's in this big room, but when you're standing up next to it, definitely taller than me. Okay, let's carry this thing up the stairs carefully. There's Mr. Bingley. He wants to come out with me. But we're going to check out a car, so he's got to stay in the old Château. You guys, what a couple of days. Oh my goodness, the highest of high, the lowest of lows. Had all kinds of problems installing the shower. You can see I've got the tiles cut and they are installed. I'll send you guys a video of it. But it was not without incident. You know, when you have a big, huge 2-meter piece of tile, and the walls are old and not necessarily straight, the tile's unforgiving, right? Like it won't flex. You can't, you know, you can't account for bumps and imperfections. And so to get that thing, which is really, really heavy to lift, even heavier when you've got concrete mortar on the back of it, to get that thing in place and straight was tough. And then we had a little bit of a leak develop in one of the taps. It didn't leak for 4 days. I put it in, it was all great. It was just one of those straight compression fittings. You know, you gotta tighten it real tight. And it started a really, really slow leak. So happily we got that. Let's put the beautiful Château on the house. Look at that nice dark cloud there, eh guys? Oh, I gotta back up so you can see the whole Château. So that was tough, but we got her in and we made progress. But then, so that was difficult. And of course you're using the big tile saw and the drills, and it's throwing little pieces of porcelain in the air. I was wearing safety glasses, but a couple little pieces of rock hit your face and then you're bleeding a little bit. It was really quite something. So that was rough. But on the other hand, we had our 12th scholarship application come in. We've had 12 students that applied for scholarships this year. 9 of them were admitted to the program, 3 of them not this year probably. And so we finally made a decision for the one student that's going to get a full ride. And so I wrote that student, and the student was thrilled. Oh, I wish I could put some of, it's probably too private to put online, but you know, you hear all these stories and man, oh man. And so I wrote the student, and the student just was thrilled and wrote back just a beautiful note. And I shared the scholarship application and also a little bit of video from the student's interview with the donor. And again, we have a Château owner friend. Isn't this nice? Some Château owner friends, plural, a couple, who have made this scholarship full ride for one student. And so they sent the money in already last year, and so it's going to go to this girl. But anyways, I told them a little bit about her story, and it was just beautiful. Oh, I want to give you details. I probably can't, guys, but I'm telling you, it's just a joyful thing to be able to see young people continue their education. In addition to that, I got my hair cut. It's about time. And not only that, we're gonna go take a look at some cars. You know, we think probably one of the next moves for us is, got this great van, but we want to protect the kilometers, and often during session we need a little car to go get to the groceries and to go, you know, if we have 25 students, you need 2 vans and 1 car. So we're gonna go get a little car and probably add it to the fold. And so we're gonna take a look at a couple the next few days. That's gonna be super fun. And even better, we had one of our local roofers, Benoit, come out and take a look, measurements on the whole thing. He and his buddy had worked earlier on fixing up the tile before we had it redone on our Château, and he's a great guy. We'd love to have him back. So he's going to give us a quote. We really hope it's a good quote, and it'd be great to get those stables fixed up. So lots of good stuff happening, guys, and it's warm.
So it's been awesome having the van. But at the same time, we kind of want to save the van and not put a bunch of miles on something that we need desperately. So we thought it's time to finally get a car. So there was a few things that we knew we needed in a car before we started.
It just seemed like a great strategy, because every year when the students are here, we have 3 vehicles, and we need to rent another van. We have the van, and usually we have to rent a car because we run back and forth to Beaujais for bakery, groceries, probably once a day.
And the roads are small.
They're tiny. The parking's small, and gas is expensive.
Big.
Yeah.
So when we let someone else have to drive it, they're not used to the crazy little roads, and so we just need something a little smaller.
So we took a look at three vehicles. Here, we'll show you them while we're talking. All 3 of them, we were trying to stay around 20,000. We're trying not to spend too much money, but also get something that would be, you know, usable for a while. So normally in America, you don't want to, you know, a new car is always a little bit of a luxury purchase, and it's usually a better move financially to do a secondhand car. Not as much in France because they're expensive. They
regulate their secondhand cars a lot.
Yeah.
So it was a debate of, we had kind of a set amount, I think, that you wanted us to spend. So it was like, well, do we get something small and newer, or better quality, a little older?
Yeah, we started off with the Renault. We would have loved to bought this one because we have a great friend, Olivier, who is right from Eshimire here, nice guy, and he helps us out, and we do business with him, and we would love to support it. And he had a 2024 Captur, which is a fine Renault car, and it was a little higher trim level than we're used to. It was a hybrid. Looked great. It was actually the most expensive car we looked at. It was 1 year old, but only 1 year of warranty.
I know, that was a bummer.
And then of course, as you'll hear in a second, after a bit of a fiasco with Renault warranties, which stay tuned. That really didn't help us go that direction.
No.
It was a little bit above our budget too. It was more like 27,000.
Yeah.
So secondly, we saw a Toyota, which I liked a lot.
We did see it too. You did. Well, Rob liked every one of them, honestly.
I'm a simple guy.
But I liked it too. It was good. It was a little car. Little car.
Yaris hybrid again.
Like I literally don't think we would get all the groceries in it.
It's 60, 70 miles a gallon hybrid.
That's with the seats down.
It was brand new for 23,000, which we thought was quite good, and a big, huge, long warranty. It had the color we liked. All three of these were automatics, which is great for our volunteers.
That was important.
And so I was thinking that was going to be the one, maybe.
Well, so it was definitely up there. Like that.
Yeah.
That was definitely.
You could tell the trim level was low. Like when you're driving it felt a little tinny, which, we're not worried about that. We drove a Geo Metro for 10 years, guys. We were fine with it.
It was a little plastic.
So it was a little bit that way, but man, that would have been a good one. And then we found a car that was 4 years old, 70,000 K, 45,000 miles for just a little more than 20,000. It was a BMW. And so it was a nice young couple. It was secondhand, private purchase, which is usually smart, a little better deal usually.
Yeah.
And so we actually drove a couple hours to go meet them and see them because we had to go and our van, when we bought it, we didn't realize that it was missing a piece of plastic, like a piece of trim. So we called them up and they said, oh yeah, come on over, we'll get it fixed for you. So we said, okay, great, 4-hour drive, here we go. Thought we can go look at this car as well. Yeah. But you got in right away, you liked it. Take a look. What do you think, Les?
It sits good. It's in the right place.
Does it sit good? Yeah, take a look around.
Sometimes when you sit in a car, I also enjoyed sitting in the little Toyota actually. But sometimes it just fits. It just fits you. I'm really short, and the top part of me is even shorter than Rob's top part of him. So when I sit in something, if the dash is too high, I have to crank that seat all the way up just so I can see over the dash. And then Rob,
and
it's
my head's
annoying,
touching the top,
right?
yeah.
It's annoying. So sometimes if we can find cars that already have proportions that sort of work for us.
Yeah. And Leslie loved, we had a Honda CRV, which 2018, I think it was, in the States. And we loved that car. And you were so sad. We ended up selling it to our son. So it's great that he has it.
Great.
But you miss that thing so bad. And this is a lot like that.
Yeah, it's very much the same, except we're in Europe, so it's German.
Well, here we are in Poitiers. Mr. Bingley out for a little walk, Leslie and I shopping. We bought our van here last year and realized that it's missing a piece of trim. They sold it to us with a piece of trim missing. So we wrote the salesman, he said, yeah, no problem. Yeah, it was cracked. We were gonna repair it, but we didn't get to it. So, come on in and we'll get you a new one. I said, great. So we made an appointment and he said, come in Thursday. So we came in Thursday, we drove 4 hours, 2 hours here, 2 hours back. And we said, yeah, okay, we're here for the trim. And they said, yeah, come on over here. Huge place. We walked over, they pulled out a thing from a box and they said, oh, this one's broken. It won't work. I guess we don't have it. So I said, oh, so we drove 4 hours and we had another problem. Our CarPlay wasn't working. These are first world problems. I'll be honest. And I said, can you fix that? And they looked at it and said, no, we can't fix it. I said, well, isn't that what a warranty is? All right, I don't want to be salty. But apparently it doesn't matter if you have the warranty because they just said we can't fix it.
There's no shortage of things to cut on this yard. And that's just the stuff I'm doing, not to mention the whole forest that has many things that need cut. But we're getting a handle on these ones out in front. I don't think you can actually see very good because it kind of blends into the mulch. And we got a handle on most of these big guys and cut a bunch off. So we're finally getting these a little more managed. The last one is right here. This crazy pants one in the middle. And he is a doozy, and my thumb and wrist, I think, have had enough for now. I did all the little guys in each of the little, I don't know what we call those, not quadrants, but our little pockets of spaces. Now we'll just keep going. I am also pleased that our little roses in these little spaces are coming along nicely all the way along. And I wanted to say a big thanks to all of you who engage our crazy questions. That's our big cement electrical thing that we were going to put a pot on. Yeah, we're still figuring that out. It's mostly so that you don't back into it. It's a foot or two tall, and so you can kind of see it in comparison to the house. We can't do anything wider than what it is because we really need to be able to drive on both sides there. When we have cars angle parked along the side, we really need to be able to have that space on the other side of the cement electrical thing to drive around. So, but I like that one idea someone had of kind of making into a bigger planter, like a bigger circle and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. So thanks for that. Thanks for all the ideas. I've been looking at some of the trees that you mentioned. Haven't got to the garden center yet, but I will go look at that. Also, thank you for, I don't know, anytime you guys give us little hints about this and that, marble places, someone sent me one. My problem hasn't necessarily been finding marble for slab kind of stuff, but more like mosaic marble kind of tile. But needless to say, we're on the way with whatever we could get on hand, and we did find a little basket weave. It'll be fine, and we'll make it work. It'll be good. We just don't have the luxury of postponing things like floors. I can postpone a vanity because we can live without that for a few months, but not other pieces to the puzzle. Okay, dirty dog, let's go. Come on. Mr. Bing enjoys being outside, but someone got into one of the holes again. And it rained a lot last night, so someone is very dirty. So we're only going in when we absolutely have to because somebody's gonna need a bath again.
All right, well, we got the walls up and we've got the shower head on. Works great. Works great. And no leaks. And still gotta straighten all this out. It's a bit wiggly right now, so we're gonna have to, I don't know, get some cement in there to solid it up. But lots of fun, making progress. No leaks down here now. Progress. Well, that week went by fast. We had a lot of stuff going on, and I'm pleased to say the shower is coming. Got both the walls up, and then this is the latest development. I am thrilled about this. Originally, I had put a piece of wood in there, and to hold it steady, because there's no wood to screw to, right? But then somehow in moving everything around, big pieces got bumped, and then this thing was totally loose. And I'm like, how are we gonna make this stable? And so, don't judge me. I thought I'm gonna put some spray foam in, and we're gonna fill up the cavity a bit, and then if that holds it, great, and if it doesn't hold it, I'll get some thin set or some, or whatever, the concrete, and we'll stick that in there to hold it. But so far it looks great. Looks like I got it straightened just a little bit, but I think it's gonna work, and I'm thrilled. Well, little laser's coming in helpful again. Now to keep it straight, I think we got it pretty much straight now. I had to just pop something in there to hold it and pop a little thing in there just to get it. So you do what you gotta do, it's firm. We're gonna take the wind and put the top on.
We've cut our big old pink rose down. Every year I've been trying to take a bit more of this old stuff, but new things are sprouting on the old wood. So I'm a little compassionate for that. Trying to weed through all of this, and it really is quite the thing, these darn weeds. But anyway, and this crazy little vine between that and the ivy, and then you saw over on the other side those sort of big water plants. I'm gonna go over to the right. There's Bingy walking through them. This is the side with the well, so it's quite moist over here. So these crazy big plants tend to grow over here, especially this time of the year. But we're trying to get a handle on everything before everything gets big. So we finally got this rose underneath. It was getting out of control, so we couldn't even see the bricks. So we've got the bricks back. And I remember we had a wonderful friend come and help with the whole square with this great sand, and it really is a joy to weed with it. because everything just pops right out, and it's been wonderful. And I'm going to fill in between the bricks this year with this sand. Maybe that'll help encroachment also. And I'm excited about it. We're still so thankful that he came and helped with that in so many ways, and we have loved it. Now, yes, the weeds are starting to come back now that the weather's getting nice, but we'll get a handle on it. This little rose, actually he's not that little, he's kind of big. And look at this mess. I have to say, he's a bit daunting. He's my last one along the side of the house to do, and he is always the one where I go, ay, ay, ay. Because he grows aggressively. We have a million flowers. Oh, look, he's already trying to bloom. So he's beautiful, but ay caramba, there's a lot to get cutting. So anyway, here begins the transformation of the mess. Well, last week, I was out on the terrace, and our poor little lemon tree, I pulled a bunch of leaves off of him, had little tiny bugs all over him. It was really quite awful. And all the way down the stems and everything. And, you know, we're doing really well, I'm pleased to say. I don't think any more have come back. And we're starting to get some little sprouts and some little lemons again. So let's hope this poor little guy has finally had the ability to hopefully come back and give us some lemons and leaves, poor guy. I also put, my sister loves natural remedies, and I stuffed a bunch of garlic cloves at the bottom to make the living inhospitable for our, there's 2 more lemons, for future bugs. And, oh, there's another one. Look at that. See him? Oops, sorry. So anyways, very exciting. So I'm hoping now that this poor little guy will soak up the sun and enjoy every bit of springtime and start coming back again. I'm excited.
Now, this is probably more exciting for me than to those of you in YouTube land, but we've made some great progress electrically. We now have functioning breakers on the front and back of the house, and lights in here, and check this out, light. You know, it's a simple thing, but when you don't have it, and this is great too, look at this. Light in this room, this is our storage room. We got plumbing, we got tiles, we got little light electrical we've pulled out. Waste not, want not, right? Sometimes you just need a little board, a few extra tiles down there. We have a significant number of paints and a lot of work to run a chateau. And so, yeah, it's great to have your tools organized. And we have light in this room. Thank you, Jeremy. So we did realize that this is under the terrace. And so what was great is that Jeremy put in a waterproof light fixtures and waterproof outlets. Someday it would be great to get the drips not coming in, but it's really hard off the terrace. And again, technically this is outside the house, so we're a little less worried about it. You never like to see water. We did, by the way, talk to a structural engineer about those beams and the fact that there's water on it. He had some great suggestions. So we're gonna get on that one of these years. So there's no immediate danger, but we do need to get on it. Caulking always makes such a big difference. Hey, look at that, nice. We had a pretty significant gap down there. Like, you know, I was worried it didn't come out as far as I thought. And a little bit of caulking cleans it right up. These guys are pretty good. They're not perfect, but you won't notice it walking in, for sure. All right, we're on to putting the shower on. First step is always to get the support on. Now, it's a little tricky because you got to drill through all that rock. Everything's easier with wood, but I, you know, it is what it is. So here we go. All right, shower's coming together. That's gonna be where the toilet sits. That little nook there, which will be more than enough space for Leslie and barely enough space for me. Too much information. Anyways, and yeah, it's coming together. Here we go. All right, give this thing a day to dry, and I think we should be game to operate. Yeah, again, we're gonna, you'll see all this is gonna be tiled, right? We got marble on the ground, subways and some cool forms on the walls, and then we'll probably put we'll put cutoffs from this along the bottom, so that'll be cool. Then a beautiful vanity. Don't have the taps on yet. We'll just let it all harden first, but can't wait to have a shower maybe tomorrow. Ooh. Thanks for coming with us again, guys. You'll see lots more progress next week, so tune back in every Saturday.